Good morning, everybody. I had plans this morning. I had plans. It's Sunday morning. It's a Wednesday for my work schedule. So I was going to wake up in the morning and work out and possibly eat breakfast. Then I realized I didn't feel like working out. I'll take the day off, pick it back up tomorrow. Opted to do breakfast. Making some breakfast, no problem. Everything's fine. I say, you know what? I'm gonna shave my head. I'm gonna shave my head. So I put my breakfast in the oven, doing everything I got to do with that. Then I'm like, I got to shave this ugly head because the hairline's gone, all that madness. Nah, news came in. I had to turn on this. So the head's not going to get shaved right away, if it gets shaved at all right now. But I'll tell you this. This is for good reason. Because the Los Angeles Lakers have picked up basically a load, a huge load for something that we don't want. This situation is a much lesser version of the Pau Gasol trade. It almost makes up for the Zubac trade. It's so botched by the other team. This is a robbery. My team just picked up a gun, put it up to Sam Presti's head, and said, give me Dennis Schröder. And he did just that. The Lakers have acquired Dennis Schröder, point guard, two-way point guard, one of the more productive, underrated players in the league on our team officially as of right now. For the 28th pick in the draft, for which we could give two craps about, and Danny Green, for which we appreciate giving us a championship, but now gets to move on, and it's brought back something that I think is going to help us win another championship. See, the thing about Dennis Schröder to me, I've always been a fan. Since day one, since they said that he was going to be, ready for this, Rondo. That's exactly who he's been compared to since he got into the league. But the thing about Dennis Schröder is, he's not the passer and playmaker that Rondo is, even though he does have those strengths, but he's a better scorer. In fact, I could argue he's a more pure, comfortable guy scoring the ball than Rondo. At this point in the game, even though Rondo's been hitting at a high clip, scoring the ball lately, and I've really been happy with his shooting. Dennis Schröder is a more natural scorer. He has natural ability to score the basketball. He drives at the rim. He's one of the best free throw shooters out there. When I said I wanted Drew Holiday, and I thought of Dennis Schröder as a lesser version of Drew Holiday for a much more affordable price. So at this point, now that we have Dennis Schröder, I don't think I need Drew Holiday anymore, especially at the price he's at. But I think that if for some reason he found himself on this team too, I do think he, Dennis Schröder, Bron James, and all those, they can play together. But I don't think that the Lakers look to double down on the point guard position again, point guard, shooting guard position again, going after a very hefty price Drew Holiday after making this acquisition. So pretty much Drew's out of the picture as far as I can tell. I wouldn't pick him up at this point, but I'm happy as a Laker fan. You know, it's one of those situations where I'm very happy. I feel the same way about Derrick Rose. I don't think it makes any sense to pick up Derrick Rose anymore. Dennis Schröder should be able to eat up those minutes. If we're keeping Rondo, that's really all we need for the point guard position in terms of players of prestige. The next person behind him shouldn't be that great of a player to where we're taking minutes away from them because we want to keep the cohesive bunch. It's great to stack the deck, but it would be a bad idea to try to squeeze Fred VanVleet into the picture at this point. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say to you guys. Getting a player of that caliber at that position after this acquisition makes no sense. You have other needs. Address those at this point. We could use another 3. Athletic 4 wouldn't hurt behind Anthony Davis, a guy who could possibly play some 5. I've heard Tristan Thompson's name floated around a lot. I don't know what his price tag is. He signed some extremely hefty contracts that LeBron James and Clutch Sports help him receive. But those contracts should be very mature. His contract should be very mature at this point. And I know for certain he would love to get out of a bad Cleveland team that's log jammed at the center position to no end. So Tristan Thompson would be a fantastic acquisition for the Lakers. He belongs in LA. He's a Kardashian. He's obviously LeBron's boy again, Clutch family. and somebody that has won a championship with LeBron, somebody he's very comfortable with. And most importantly, he's somebody who hasn't had a whole lot of run over the last couple years. Being on the Cleveland team with a bunch of bigs, he's basically been chilling. And we know what he can do when given huge minutes. He's more or less Draymond Green without the mobility and the passing ability. But defensively, he can guard the paint. He can guard the three-point line. If you watch the Cleveland Finals back in 2016, you know what this guy can do. And I don't think he's lost a whole lot because he's still fairly in his prime. I'm not going to say he's young, but I don't think we've gotten to the place where I'm saying Tristan Thompson is old. I think we're more so in the place with Tristan Thompson that I look at when I say like a DeAndre Jordan, who can still help you. He's not doing the stuff that he used to do, but he can still help you right now if he's in the right situation. That's how I look at Tristan Thompson. I think it would be a fantastic acquisition if we're not able to retain the bigs that we still had. I want to bring our bigs back. Dwight Howard should be on this team if we can afford him at this point. I don't know that we can, and congratulations to him if we cannot, but I would love to bring him back, and I'm pretty certain he would like to be here. So that's what the Lakers need to do with if they want to try to squeeze something into the cap that they have. If they want to try to squeeze a deal, it should definitely be to try to address something else other than the point guard position at this point. I think we got that. Dennis Schröder is very comfortable starting, which I believe he will start at the point guard spot. He's very comfortable, I think, playing bench minutes, knocking off second units with his ability to score the basketball and do the things that he does. He would be a superior player to have coming off of your bench. If you do decide to keep Kuzma, I think Dennis Schröder helps with making it so that Kuzma plays with pace. Some of the stuff that Lonzo Ball did for Kuzma that I've always mentioned is kind of what I would expect Dennis Schröder to kind of help Kuzma with. Just, a consistent point guard to play with no matter what. I think that would be a very important thing for the coaches to implement. When Anthony Davis and LeBron James are taking breathers, you need to try to make sure that Kyle Kuzma and Dennis Schröder are playing off one another and learning how to play with one another throughout the regular season. If Kuzma is going to be on the team, which I have many doubts about, I do think it's probably a 60% to 40% chance that we trade Kuzma. I don't think he'll be a Laker this coming season. I really don't. But if for some reason he does continue to be on this team, I think Dennis Schröder is an acquisition that helps him. So those are things that the Lakers can take a look at. Obviously, they have a lot of free agents, guys who are on one-year contracts. We shouldn't have a hard time re-signing a lot of these guys. I'm very happy that the Lakers flipped Danny Green for something of substance, a helpful piece. I couldn't be more happy with the value that we've got for our player who just won a championship. I think Danny Green, even though he had a bad bubble, his value is still pretty inflated because of the fact that he's won championships 2 years in a row. So for OKC, I think the point for them to receive Danny Green is to get that expiring contract so they can get that off the books. I know Gallinari's coming off the books. They got Schröder out of there. So they're cleaning house. I think the OKC Thunder is doing either one or two things. Either they're going into the season hoping to be the worst team they can be. Obviously, they want to get rid of Chris Paul's contract and acquire as many picks as they possibly can because they already, as I've said, I made a video about this about a year ago, they are the new Boston in terms of hoarding picks. So them acquiring our 28th pick today does not surprise me because it's on brand with the plan that they've had for the last couple years. They're on their trust the process mission, so to speak, and they're just acquiring picks. That's what they're trying to do. I don't know that they keep all of those picks. Maybe they trade those picks to try to get a player, or maybe they package those picks to try to get a greater pick. If not this draft, because I don't see them doing it this draft, next draft when they got some big boys coming in. A much more talented draft class should be coming in over the next 2 years, and I think the Thunder are going to try to get at the top of probably both of those drafts. So we'll see what the Thunder do. They're going to be a very interesting case. And if you are paying attention to teams that have a bright future, do not rule them out. So I don't love what they did today, but like I said, it's on brand. So I know what they're doing. They're getting picks. And if the way they see it is they're trading Schröder for a first round pick. Danny Green's a salary dump throw-in. So that's the logic. Did they overpay to pay us for that pick? Absolutely. Dennis Schröder is worth more in this league than what they took for him, in my opinion. But I don't know that they were able to get another first-round pick from anywhere else. I don't know that. They were definitely able to secure it from us. So Sam Presti's a very, very smart GM, and I'm certain that they have a plan. I would trust him if I were a Thunder fan. This is not the end of the world. I would be a little upset giving up Dennis Schröder, especially going to the Lakers. When he just said less than a week ago that he didn't want to play for the Lakers. He didn't want to play for a big market team. But I've heard players say that stuff before. And although he's not an American guy, so sometimes, foreign players are a little more humble about the circumstances and the environments they want to be in. Sometimes they really don't desire to be in certain situations that maybe the average American player wants to be in. But I don't think a losing situation is something he wants to go into this season. And while they made the playoffs last year, and largely because of his contributions, I don't know that they were going to make the playoffs again this year. I think he was just saying what he needed to say to make sure that he's kept in good faith with the team that he thought he'd be playing for. You don't want to go anywhere else so long as you're in the uniform that you're in. That's just basketball player etiquette. You say what you have to say. So there's a chance he meant what he said and could, throw a fit. But I think there's a minus 1% chance that takes place. I think that this person is going to be extremely happy to be a Laker, and I think he's going to enjoy his tenure here because we're going to do a whole lot of winning. We're going to do a whole lot of winning. Now, what does this mean for the DeMar DeRozan situation? Well, to be honest with you, I don't know. We still got Kuzma on the books. We don't have the 28th pick, but we still got Kuz. If they want to take Kuz and maybe another one of our expiring contracts, I don't know that we really want to give away anybody else at this point. I don't know. I'm not saying that we don't. In my mind, I can't think anybody else that we'd be quick to throw away in a trade for a guy like that right now that would be acceptable to the Spurs. I just don't. I don't see a package deal without Danny Green. He's gone. So if I'm being real with you Laker fans, if I'm being real with everybody who's watching me, I'm not going to devalue DeMar DeRozan here by what I'm about to say, but this is a genuine feeling. I prefer the trade we made here than the one that we were projected to make for DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan is a better player than Dennis Schröder. No human being is going to deny that. But I do believe that Dennis Schröder, for the value that we got him for, coupled with the projection of his fit on this team, is just a better move. It's a better move. We made a good move today, and Dennis Schroeder's going to fit. He's going to fit. He's going to immediately become somebody the Lakers love. We love players that are productive. We haven't had many point guards in our history since I've been watching since 1994. I'm not going to talk about anything that happened before I was watching at this point, but we haven't really had a whole lot of point guards that go. And this has been an era over the last 30 years where point guards really go. We missed out on a lot of those guys. We always went the big route. So for us to have a guy in my mind, Dennis Schröder, who's a real scoring point guard, a real point guard who's only going to get better, a guy that's still young but entering his prime. It's got to be about year 7 for him or something like that. But he came into the league extremely young, so I don't imagine he's any older than 25 at the moment right now. This dude is entering his prime. He's somebody who, like I said, plays both sides of the floor, a very, very, very smart, high basketball IQ player, a guy who doesn't spare any effort on the floor, who will drive down the lane and continue to come at you, free throws, all that stuff. I'm looking forward to learning more about his game because obviously he played most of his career in Atlanta, where he killed it for a bad team, and then of course OKC, where he was able to balance out his production with 2 other very, very seriously gifted point guards in Shea and CP3. So you're talking about a guy who can fit in a lot of different situations, doesn't complain when he's not going well. I can only imagine how happy he will be when things are going well. I do wonder, with him, like anyone else, will they play the same way when the lights are on for the Lakers? Because that's a different level of pressure, and that's a different expectation coming your way. Now it's not okay to just play okay. Now it's not okay to miss the last shot or something like that. You're expected to win. We're coming off a championship. Our fans are high and mighty. We're back on our bull crap. And we expect anybody that comes here to win a championship ring with us. So Dennis Schröder, pressure's now on. Pressure's now on. The good thing is you're falling back on huge, massive mattresses that are Anthony Davis and LeBron James. All you got to do is not suck, and you're going to be just fine. And I'm certain that you won't do that because players are what they are. Just like when you're bad or you're great, you are what you are. When you're pretty damn solid or very, very good, like Dennis Schröder is, it's exactly who you are. You're not going to change your stripes just because the uniform changes necessarily. So he doesn't come off as a jittery guy. He doesn't come off as the type of guy who's going to fold under pressure. He don't come off the type of guy who's bashful, shy. He's going to come in and he's going to work and he's going to lay it on the line just like he's done for the other two teams that he's played for. I'm super excited. I've always been a fan of Dennis Schröder. If you're a fantasy basketball player, you know this guy has value anytime he's healthy. This is not the type of player that you leave on the waiver wire for very long. If he's on the waiver wire, chances are you're picking him up, and if you didn't, you wish you did. Trust me. Trust me on that. He's productive, and he's the type of production that you want on your fantasy team. So, with all of that being said, welcome to LA, Dennis Schröder. Clearly, I'm excited that you're here. Clearly, I'm happy that you're here. I hope that you're happy to be here, and I respected and didn't disagree with your statement when you said you didn't want to be here. I respected it. I thought I understood it, and I felt it was a good thing to hear if you're from OKC. You know, that's what you want, and I think some guys are gonna be very upset that he's not gonna be on the team anymore after saying something like that. And I think it's gonna be a whole fan base of people that's gonna be looking at Sam Presti saying, "You better make something out of this pick," because we know Danny Green is done. He's not done when he's playing for a championship team, but he's certainly done if he's gonna be playing for the Thunder. They don't have as much as Gallinari or CP3 after what's about to happen here, I don't think. So, you're obviously in a rebuilding situation and gave away a young point guard who wanted to be there. I don't see that going well with the fans, so I want to send early condolences to the OKC Thunder fans who may feel that way. I've been there. I went there with Zubats. It was awful. It was just simply awful. I get it. And we didn't even get a pick back for that, so I understand. But yeah. As a fan of the team, I'm happy. I think we got a heist. We ran away. We ran off on the plug. All that. Like, you name it, we did it in getting this situation done. Congratulations to the Laker brass once again for finding a way to make this deal without giving up a young Kyle Kuzma. And I think that's a big deal because Kyle Kuzma still holds value. And you can still get more right now with him on the team. He's almost as valuable as a late round draft pick at this point. You could probably still get something substantial for him, or most people think his upside is still super high. I don't know if I think it's super high, but I know what I think he could be, which is somebody who can score a lot really, really quickly, and who's going to give you effort in areas that he's not so good at. Like, he's not very good defensively, but he'll try. And those are things that are helpful for most coaches, especially young coaches. Kuzma's the kind of guy you can work with, especially if you take the cuffs off of him and let him go. So I think he's going to find himself in a great spot if he doesn't stay here. I don't think there's too many spots in the league that are not good spots for him, to be completely honest. And it's actually maybe one of the worst fits in the league for Kuzma, to be honest with you. The Lakers may actually be the worst fit for him. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. The point is he's still on the squad, and I'm happy that we didn't give him away in this trade. What can I say, man? It's a good day to be a Laker fan. We're on cloud 9. Not only are we NBA champions, but our team is improving in a short offseason where we only get to wait maybe, another 2-3 months, and we're back on the floor. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And this helps because LeBron James will be able to sit a little bit. I'm not saying Dennis Schröder is a guy that's going to make it so that LeBron could sit 20 games. That's not what I'm saying. I think DeMar DeRozan's a little more equipped to kind of do that for you. But you do feel really good about your chances going up against, say, Orlando or Sacramento. If Bron ain't playing and you got Anthony Davis and Dennis Schröder as your best two players, I still feel like we're winning that game. So, yeah, look, we're in a great spot. The Lakers did not have a third best player on the team last year. We didn't have one. As of right now, we have one. Simple as that. Dennis Schröder is good enough to be that guy in the third role. Now, he'll have to play his butt off, play some of the best basketball in the world, of his career, rather, in order to make what I'm saying true. But I think where we're at in his career, it's a good chance he gives you that. It's a damn good chance he gives you that. So anyway, that's what I got, man. My name's BDF44. Dennis Schröder's on the squad. Happy about it. Welcome to the team. Let's go win another ring. BDF.